Hi everybody, this is Karen, and I wanted to talk to you today about the MTHFR and the nos3 again. My son, who is 18, was just tested, and he is positive, or homozygous I should say, for the 1298 MTHFR gene, and he has some anxiety and depression. And you can tell right now, I don't know how well I'm methylating, because you see this eyebrow is up and this one's down. That means I'm usually like really not doing too great, but honestly I feel better excuse me, than I have been. I've been on a road that I can't even begin to describe, but anyways, I hit menopause along with all the other issues I had going on in my life, and it really knocked me down. Knowing what I know now is that my body, and everybody's body with MS, does not produce enough nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas that will like vasodilate and constrict our arteries and veins when it's needed. I was born with asthma. That's a for sure sign that nitric oxide deficient, and it's in the genes. My son also is heterozygous for the nos3, which means that he's got one variant. We get one variant from our mother and one variant from our father. Since I have entered menopause, and I'm actually pretty much through it, I've been much more short of breath, and come to find out estrogen, when when our levels of estrogen are higher as females, that also helps our body produce nitric oxide. So I've had a few hard whacks, and now what I'm doing is I'm supplementing with a methylated B-Complex. I've always done the methylated B12 for many, many years, and I realize now how fortunate I was to do that. And also, the things that really helped me in the past were all due to the nitric oxide. I was on a supplement called Plus by Manitech for many years, and it contains L-arginine, which is what our body uses to produce the nitric oxide. I figured it out. I've had massive neurological damage, which does seem to be stabilizing. My mood's stabilizing, because I was just so far out. I can't even explain it. That's why I didn't make videos for so long. I was just so far out. But it's better. I have I'll be honest with you, some panic, because it's really hit me. And I was never scared about MS before, but I got scared. I got real scared. But now I understand. So for those of you watching and wondering what may help you, I highly recommend a methylated B-Complex, which has the B1, the B2, the B3. Now B3 is niacin, and while we have this issue, we still need niacin, but I take a methylated B-Complex that is only 50 milligrams of the niacin, because if we take too much, that can stop methylation. It's a tricky game. I found one, it's from Nature Time, NATURTYME, that contains 50, where the other one I was taking had 100 in there, and I noticed a difference in a positive way. That being said, the methylfolate that I'm taking 600, I don't know if it's micrograms or milligrams, really has helped tremendously. Also, I'm taking the Neo 40, which I mentioned in the previous video. I see that the background of this video is really, really unattractive. Anyways, I'm in my third bedroom getting ready for the day. I have a trainer come. I have two trainers actually. One I have come Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the other one I have come Fridays. But this has been the game for me,
It's not that I, can't do the exercises and a lot of the arm stuff and even the leg stuff. What was happening and what is getting better is that if I did anything, I was so incredibly exhausted, I couldn't even get to the bathroom. It was bad. That is all getting better. Again, the weather's gotten a lot better. It's in June. It's relatively sunny almost every day. Not today, but and also the sunlight. That's why MS is less prevalent the closer you get to the equator. It's because the sun through our eyes helps. It's like a backup system for our bodies to produce the nitric oxide. The vitamin D is important too, because the vitamin D regulates the nitric oxide. I had a lot of time to do a lot of reading and a lot of investigating, and just from my own personal experience. This is interesting too. I did the Weldon antibiotic protocol years back, and then I did 3 antibiotics for 3 years, which I do not recommend that. No, don't do it, because it wipes out all your bacteria. But there was one of the antibiotics that I did, it was Flagyl, and I always felt better on it. And I just could never figure out why. I felt better, in a different way. Yes, my microbial load is pretty high, obviously, if I have something like this, and that probably helped to decrease that. But the Flagyl, I looked it up, it's metronidazole, something like that. And I looked it up, and guess what? It stimulates nitric oxide. All the things that have helped me, really helped me, have all been to do with the nitric oxide. This is amazing. So this is what I know now, is that with MS, more than likely, we all have the MTHFR. Mine, I don't know if I'm heterozygous for the 677 and the 1298, or I might be heterozygous just for the 1298. I'm not sure. I'm going to get that done. I actually did send in a sample, but it came back unreadable because I didn't have enough DNA to read it. That's how sick I was. Also, I have the raw food diet was a no. Not for people with MS. I strongly disagree with that. Within a month, that's when I started really falling down. There's people on YouTube and different doctors and things that are like, that's the way to go. And yes, it's great, because I think what it does, I think increases our folate, not folic acid. That's the worst thing somebody with MS can do, is do folic acid, because it sits on the folate receptors, and we don't have the enzyme. That is what MTHFR is. It's methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase. Okay, it's an enzyme that helps our bodies produce methylfolate, which is what our bodies need. But if it's low or can't work, this is the folic acid you get from your enriched foods, and it comes here, and we can't process it, and this builds up and causes all of the problems. So what I would suggest for someone is to go gluten-free. That being said, I've always been able to do spelt. Spelt is not gluten-free, but it is not enriched either. So it's not enriched with the folic acid, so stay away from enriched foods. That's why a whole foods diet is so much better with this issue. Also, the fish oils are a definite plus, because that also does something. It not only decreases inflammation, but it does something, I forget what exactly to do with the nitric oxide, but that's why if you look around, the people that get better with MS are the people that, one, change their diets, increase exercise, because the exercise brings the blood flow everywhere. I see that now. It's like what I think MS really is. And I've heard it said before from some physicians that MS is a vascular disease. Well, it is. It really is. So we need to protect our veins. And remember the CCSVI, I did that. I was stenosed in both jugular veins. But then even after, during that time, I did improve after I had it ballooned once, and then I could feel it when I went back, and I was like, why did that happen? I was in my pool and the pressure. I was never able, even since I was a kid, to withstand the pressure against my lungs as it is now. I'm like, I'm breathing a lot, but I understand more. So once we understand something, we can like address it. I have definitely gotten stronger. I put on some weight, which is good because I was so incredibly skinny that I look at pictures, and if I knew how to do video editing, I'd include one here so you could see it, but I don't, so you're not gonna see it, but just trust me. I was about 20 pounds thinner. It was terrible. And then the cold, so I started out with Raynaud's syndrome disease in my hands, in my feet, and then it just progressed upwards because the body is trying to conserve the best it can so it can keep the brain and the heart going and our organs going. And then the nos3 gene, the nitric oxide, like there's different genes for that, and I realize now, like the people with MS have the neuronal variant. It's the NOS, which is the neuronal nitric oxide synthase, and that is an enzyme that we must be homozygous, like bad. It's not good. So anyways, the thing is, get our exercise up, keep moving as much as you can, keep warm, keep hydrated, get on something like Neo 40 and a methylated B-complex. There's also something with glutathione in there, and I think that may have something to do, the biggest thing to do is to get on the methylated folate and the methylated B12 again in a methylated B-complex, because that, if we take care of that, everything down the line, like the NOS, COMT, DAO, PMT, all these different gene variants are helped from that. Like that is the big daddy. The MTHFR is the big daddy, and it helps everything out. So anyways, MS is a biochemical physiological disease, and they know that among the plaques in the brain and the spinal cord, there's a lot of nitric oxide there, and so they're like, oh, that must be bad. No, no, no. What it is that the body is trying desperately to open up those blood vessels so those cells do not die. That's what it is. Also, it's just been such a ride. If any of you have any comments, I'd love to hear it. Also, I've incorporated in my life some evening primrose oil, which I took prior to going through menopause, and it really didn't seem to do that much for me. Now, today is day 3 since I've been on it, and I do feel much better. I've increased my vitamin D3 to 10,000 IUs a day with vitamin K, because for a long time I was only on 5,000 because I was calcified. I didn't realize that was because of the vitamin K. I have a friend that has MS, and she's been through the ringer. She is, one of her kidneys is totally calcified, and she has to have it removed. I'm very concerned about her. Anyway, she did do the vitamin D, and she's done everything right, but I don't know if she had enough vitamin K. I think that might have something to do with it. And we need, the calcium is something that we need too. I do take calcium, magnesium, potassium, but what I do is I take it from Mega Foods, so it's actually food-based. I would also suggest to get some beets in your diet, some parsley in your diet, some celery, because they all help your body to vasodilate. I think my eyesight has improved since I've done this. I was so far down that I was praying for death. I'm not gonna lie, I was praying for death. And it didn't kill me, so and for those of you that know and have been following me for a long time, you know I've done it all. I've done it all, I've tried it all, and this is what it is. And I hope this will help other people, because if I can help just one person, I'll be very happy. I've done a lot of research over the years and a lot of trials, and let me tell you. Also, we have to really be careful of the nitrous oxide. There's nitric oxide and nitrous oxide. We need nitric, okay? We need to trick our bodies. The nitrous is the laughing gas that they give you at the dentist office. That almost made me hit a heart attack and die. That was really, really bad, and I never, of course, understood it. Do not get that. That decreases your B12 levels to a point that it's just dangerous. I hope all of you are doing well, and again, that those are my suggestions, and I wish before I had so much neurological damage that I would have known this. So, and we're gonna see how much can be reversed. I'm shooting for the stars. So, all right, you guys, have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.